Good evening, my name's Phillip, and my mother's a prostitute. That's not true. I'll explain what I just did there. I've just employed something that I call my snowflake detector, and you've all been detected. My mother's not in fact a prostitute. She's an English teacher in Kingston upon Thames, but she may as well be a prostitute, given the way that the system is probably sacrificing her intellectual capabilities in favour of indoctrinating children with mealy-mouthed cultural Marxist neoliberal propaganda. I say probably. I don't really ask her about herself. We mostly talk about me and my podcast, Down the Manhole. Like, share, subscribe. Sorry, I'm in the habit of doing that, although some of you probably are finding it hard to concentrate on anything that's not scrollable, swipeable. I'll try and remedy that for you. Has anyone got a free London paper? Something? Just a minute. Right, I'm a Twitter account. Scroll past me, snowflakes. You can't handle the anti-wokeness. You can imagine on any Twitter account you like, really. Katy Perry.
Hey, I sure do hope you enjoy my latest musical offering.
Is that what she does? I don't know. If you're a bit cleverer and you want something for your brain to really think about, you can imagine I'm a satirical Twitter account. So just do the same as we just did before with Katy Perry, but imagine that I don't really mean the thing that I'm saying. So, for instance, it's so toxic that John Cleese hasn't died again today. And if you want to get involved with that tweet, you can come up and reply with put a Union Jack next to your head and reply with something like, I'm so triggered, I need a safe space, or oh, I hope I didn't use the wrong pronoun, even if no one's mentioned any pronouns. It's confusing. So do that. If you're even cleverer than that, you might want to imagine on the Spiked Online account with the latest news story. It's longer than 140 characters, but you don't need to point that out. We're in pretend world. So the latest so-called progressive cosmetics company have found a way to finally test their products without harming a single baby animal. That's all well and good, but it doesn't take into account the thousands of working class people who look forward all week to being able to imagine that somewhere in the world there's a little mouse having shampoo rubbed in its eyes. That's Spiked Online, championing the working class, alcohol, chemicals, abortion. That's what we like. That's what we like. I'm Phillip Podcast, and someone told me I wasn't funny the other day. I know that's not true because Exhibit A, in 2011, this woman was brutally murdered and raped. I don't know in which order, but I thought to myself, that's sad. I'll write a Facebook post, and I wrote, I wrote, if she didn't want to be raped or murdered, what was she doing in a woman's body? And it got quite a lot of traction. You'll know all about that, madam. Somebody wrote, too soon, question mark. That's when I knew I was the next Lenny Bruce. Well, I make Lenny Bruce look like Bruce Forsyth. I make Bill Hicks look like Bill Bailey. I make Bill Bailey look like Bill Bailey.
Mother, why are you coming downstairs? To ruin your comedy career.
Mother, why are you American?
To ruin your comedy career. So you won't have anything to talk about apart from your mother coming downstairs.
That was a dream I had. I'm Phillip, I'm a male comedian, which is a good thing. Men are very marginalised in this industry. If you're a woman, all you have to do is say something about periods, uterus, clitoris, anything that ends in us, and it's not really funny, is it? Bodily functions. So anyway, you know when you're on a bus and you get an erection, that's not the joke. You need to set the joke up. I did a workshop paid for with some of my mother's dirty indoctrination money, and you need the first thing to juxtapose the second thing. So imagine you're with a really hot chick and you can't get it up, and then you're on a bus, and what happens? You get it up. It helps if there's an analogy, like you're as hard as a something. I didn't have time to think of one. If you could think of your own, but give me the credit, I'd appreciate that. And then you go, so first, you're with a hot chick, can't get it up, on the bus, hard as a sex, something sex, hee hee hee. Everyone can laugh at the sex, hee hee hee. Laugh at that. Then there's the third thing, there's something embarrassing on the bus, like, what mate? A disabled dwarf. Well, dwarf is a strictly disabled. Well, my auntie's a dwarf. She doesn't consider herself. Who are you calling woke? I'm not woke. If there's one thing I'm not, it's woke, right? You shut your mouth. Alright, there's a disabled albatross, and then everyone thinks that's why you've got. I don't know why everyone can see your erection. It's quite easily to. Anyway, Prophet Muhammad goes in a bar. I am going to go there. I mean, if you're not up for this, like if you want to go and see Michael McIntyre at the lovely warm London Palladium and pay £1 billion to see Michael McIntyre at the London Palladium, and you want to laugh all night in the warm, go and do that. If you want to see Phillip Podcast at the Turgid Haircut on a Wednesday, well, you do because you're here. But you don't have to pay £1 billion. You can just buy me a pint. Although this is what I'm like without a pint. So yeah, Prophet Muhammad walked into a bar. Well, it wouldn't happen, would it? Because as we all know, alcohol is prohibited under strict authoritarian Islamic doctrine, as it will be for us all if we allow creeping Sharia to infect our Western sensibilities. So yeah, my name's Phillip Podcast, and you can find me on my podcast. We're different to some of the others because we don't talk, we have a conversation. We'll be talking about Brexit, climate change, Me Too, Jordan Peterson. We'll be snapping at the ankles of Jordan Peterson to try and make it not look like we just agree with everything he says. And you know, we need this magical daddy to come and show us how to wash our cocks. We're going to be snapping at the ankles of Jordan, but challenging some of his thoughts about things, mixing it up a bit. We'll be talking about the news. We'll be talking about Brexit, Huawei, coronavirus. We'll be talking about all the subjects in the news every week for the rest of our lives. And thank you very much. Thanks for coming. I've been Phillip Podcast. You've been triggered.